Okay, just a quick question here from Sharia asking us how we can go about to create the same intermarket monitor like the one I have on the left-hand side of my screen. Now, for those of you using Xenith, we do have a tutorial for the currency monitor on the right-hand side. If you guys want more information on that, go to the info box in the terminal and just open up that. You should see the first video there should be the Xenith tutorial video that'll show you exactly how to create the currency monitor that we have on the right hand side. Now for the intermarket monitor, it is actually fairly simple to create this. You're going to go through the similar type of steps that you did for the currency monitor. So you're just going to go to a new tab, open up the actual monitor, and then you should see that blank screen pop up like we have on the screen right now. Then you can basically just go to insert header. You can type in something like equity futures, for example, and you can add another header there, calling that maybe North American equity futures. And then the most important thing that you need is just the exact RIX code for these instruments. Now, of course, you can play around with the type of instruments that you want to display. For me, I chose the equity futures, but you can obviously choose the actual cash indexes if you want for the various sessions. It doesn't really matter for me. I just prefer looking at the futures, as it gives me an overall view throughout the entire session. Now, what you can do is just take a screenshot of this page and just type in that exact RIX code if you want to use these exact same instruments that I have in the chart. So you're basically just going to type that code into your RIC column, and that should give you the exact same one. Now, I did chop and change a few of the columns. If you want to have the exact same display, you can just make sure that you have the exact same columns displayed. For example, I didn't display the name column. I actually hit the name column, but I did insert a free text column, which I called name. And the reason for the free text column is I wanted to I have the ability to put in my own name there for it. So I'll basically call that Dow Jones, just as an example. If you have a look at some of these names, it's the names that I've basically put in myself to know exactly what I'm looking at. So you can always hide that name column if you want to have it look exactly like mine. You'll see there's also a couple of other columns there. The last price, percentage change, exactly the same. I took out the net change, not really something that I look at on a daily basis. So you can keep that one or leave it out. I also took out the close price. I left in the currency price. And then you can also add in some other things like yield. For example, I added yield because I didn't only want to see bonds. I actually wanted to see what the actual bond yield is doing as well. So you can basically just pop in a yield's name is basically CF underscore yield. And if you create a new column and type in that field name, you should obviously get that yield column. Then you can also add in time like I did. You can add in date like I did if you want. To get the 1 month, the 3 month, and the year to date is very simple. You're basically just going to create a new column once again. And the code for the 1 month, the 3 month, and the year to date is PCTCHG underscore MTD1M. That's basically the 1 month. So if you copy that, if you type that in there, you should get the actual 1 month. And I've basically just renamed that to 1M to basically give me the 1 month look back of that particular instrument. So you can always add that if you want, change the names. And then if you want to play around with the actual way that it's presented on the chart, you can just go to you can just highlight the column, and then from there you can select whether you want it to display as a percentage, whether you want it to display as a bar, as a heat map, any type of display that you want. And that's basically a rundown of how you can create a similar type of intermarket monitor. Playing around with the columns, obviously, you'll get there eventually to the exact look like you want it to display. The most important thing to remember is just having the RIX codes. But as I said, in terms of equity futures, you can play around with these. You can have the cash opens if you want. You can have any type of instrument in there. But if you wanted to replicate the one that we're using, just make sure to screenshot this and then type in that exact RIX code, and then you should have the same type of display as we have for the intermarket monitor. So Sharia, I hope that helps. Any other questions, don't hesitate to let us know.